Well, we're back. It's been a while since I've done a video. I have posted a lot up lately, so if you do get a chance, get out there and take a look at them from the Drywall Doctor. I'm showing you some stuff right now that I'm working on. I added some major cracks in this house. I do not believe this house was ever Durbonded to begin with, because the cracks are way too major to have this house Durbonded. But all of these off angles, this has got a textured ceiling, and all of these little angles down here at the bottom cracked out. The good news is this is an older home, and the fact that they did not put the other manufactured type of drywall tape, you know, the stuff we're doing on angles in here, like this. This is called level line, and they didn't do that. All of these are just taped with paper tape, so it chips out really easy. But I need to repair these ends. So I've pre-cut these pieces, and I'm going to put them in place here. And I'm not doing a spectacular job this coat. I'm just getting everything set and ready to go. Understand this is Durbond 5, so I have to be pretty quick at what I'm doing, because I actually have less than 5 minutes. I've been using, this is my second mix, and I've gotten some of the dirty water in here, so I have to be pretty quick at what I'm doing. But if I can get the camera to show this angle, maybe from a point, a straight line, you can see this big Waha in there, and you see this big curve. And the homeowner asked me if I could try to take it out. Now, if I put this up here, I can see where that curve is. So what I'm going to try to do is hold this in place, get some mud on my knife, and try to fill this in. I told her, I said, you know, with the texture on here, this may make it worse. It may draw your eye to it, but that Waha being in the wall really doesn't belong there. It really doesn't. So I'm going to see if that just took it out, and I believe it did. We'll know better once it gets a second coat on there. But to me, that looks much better than it used to. Maybe you can get the camera to come and take a look at it again, so you can see the difference between what it used to look like and what it looks like now. But you see how I held that piece of wood up there is to give me a straight edge. Now I have to come in here. Again, the reason I do not think this was pre-filled is because I've got an awful lot of nail pops. And these are actually nails too. Okay? Now if you look at this piece of corner bead right here, this piece of corner bead cracked. Now what I had to do is I had to kind of dig into it like this with my knife to get that crack, a bead a little bit, so I can put some mud in here. And being textured the way it is, it's holding a lot more mud than usual. And if you look right up here, you're going to see this little crack right here. I'm just going to caulk that in. That crack is not very severe. And with small cracks and angles, caulking is just fine. Now again, I've chipped this all out. Here's a perfect example. You have a little bit of crack right here on this piece of corner bead. You got a very nice hairline crack. And what you need to do is you need to take your knife, and you need to cut one direction, then you need to cut the other direction, and you need to V that crack out. See how all that mud just fell out? Now, I can fill it in, and one more coat on this because it's textured, and it's done. But I'm still here doing all of these little end pieces. So, again, I pre-cut my piece. I folded it one direction. Now it's really important that I don't try to put this in like this. I have to unfold it, and here it just gets flat, it locks right out. So then, when I put this back in, it folds only to the size of that angle. It doesn't go beyond that. So now I can pull this out, pull this out. You know, I love this off-angle material. Anybody can tape. I need a piece of tape. This piece of 90 here is not an off angle. it's just a regular 90 corner that needs to be taped too. And again, I have a small hairline crack right here in the angle. I would just go ahead and caulk that in. Like I said, fine cracks like that, you can easily caulk them in. It's not gonna hurt anything. It should last. But if you do caulk it in, there's different types of caulks. Make sure that you get one that's paintable. There are a lot of caulks out there that are not paintable, and you want a paintable caulk. Let's see, I have one more crack to do in here. It's one that the owner pointed out to me, and it's right there above the door. And understand, it's not an easy one to get to because you just don't have the room to work. So, this is what I like to do. I like to take a clean piece of tape, and I like to tear the edge off the tape, just like this. So now, this piece of tape has got the edges flared already once. Okay, so now I can take this piece of tape, I can stick it on here, cut it down, all the edges are flared once. I can wipe this out with my finger even, clean this out with my finger, and I don't have a smaller knife. I wish I had a smaller knife, but I don't have one. But I can wipe this all out nice and tight. I've got that seam coated. I can coat this in once with the Durabond 5, like this. And again, all I need is a skin coat on there, and that'll be done. Whoops, I missed this. Now, rule of thumb as a drywall finisher, if it can be hit with a 1-inch knife, or a small knife like this, painters usually take care of it. If you need something that's this big to fix it, then the tapers usually take care of it. I've got a couple of more of these angles that I have to do, and I think I can get rid of, do one more before my 5 sets up, because it's going real quick. But that's a couple of the angles. That's what we're doing. I do have another crack right here I'm going to show you in a minute. But right now, let me get the rest of this 5 done. So, and subscribe. Hey, I want to thank you for watching. I hope it's educational. I hope you've learned something. So if you really like what you see, please subscribe.